Alrighty, folks, we are back in Sierra's van. She's back here for one day for a really quick fix. We're going to try to finish up the project. Budget is severely limited, so we're going to work within the budget and try to get a wall up. Also put in some drawers. We decided to size it by putting this drawer here to see if it would fit, and it actually worked out perfectly. I did not measure it for the height. I did measure it for the width, the depth. And it is deep enough to hold it, but you can see it'll hold 4 drawers. Now Sierra said she needed a lot of storage space and she wanted to use this whole section for storage. So we're going to be able to fit 1, 2, 3 stacks of these drawers there. So that means she's going to have a whopping 12 drawers to work with. We're also going to shift the bathroom from here to here, but bathroom we're going to deal with later, maybe even a future project. For now, we're just going to leave this open for her and just basically secure everything and finish it all. We bought obviously a lot more drawers here to put in, and we're going to add some mosquito netting for her doors, so that when she opens them up, bugs won't get in, and that'll allow her to keep the van vented, to keep it from condensation, to keep the condensation issues under control. And we bought another fan for the kitchen area so she can blow hot air out. Got some wiring here for running power from her inverter to the kitchen area. We ended up going with a 25-foot, I think it's a 12 gauge wire that will be running from the inverter. And of course, various bungee cords to help tie things down. So stay tuned and you'll get to see the upgrades. Hopefully we'll be able to finish everything up today. I wanted to point out that her box, we didn't secure it well enough and it actually did slide around. And after looking at it, we're starting to think maybe a metal box might be better. So we're going to try to go across the street to Harbor Freight to price out a metal box to see how much they run and whether or not we'll be able to use that. If it's not too expensive, I think that might be the best route, is to go metal, just to give it more security and make it more permanent. This was never intended as a permanent solution. It was meant to just last until she had some funding to get a more secure system. But at this point, with it coming loose, I'm going to have to bolt it down better with some support beams inside. And then I bought some Flex Seal, that black rubbery spray, to try to fix the issue. You know, to seal it and make it airtight and everything. But we're not going to use that yet. We're going to go check and see if the metal container is available from Harbor Freight, and then make a decision after we see what the price is like. After quite a bit of time at Home Depot back there, we've emerged with the panels that we're going to be using for her walls. We decided to go with really thin panels for several reasons. The main one being cost. We're on a very, very tight budget and a very tight times constraint right now. So we decided to go cheap and easy, right?
Cheap and easy, and I can make it pretty.
Yeah, so she can make it pretty. The panels are actually very nice looking, and they're flexible, so they'll bend. The issue will be trying to get it in with the frame already in place. The metal frame there, the bed frame, which we can't really remove, so I'm going to have to work around that. And the other issue will be stuff like the wheel well and the air conditioning blower thing that's in the back. In an ideal situation, you'd want to get like cardboard or paper or something to lay along the walls and draw out your measurements and all the cuts and stuff for all the things that jut out. But we're not going to do it the right way, right?
No, absolutely not.
We're going to do it the on-the-fly, limited time way, which means I'm going to go in there and just kind of roughly estimate and try to make the cuts and stuff. Hopefully I don't botch it up too badly, but we're going to try to finish the vehicle today. So we're in process of trying to install the sidewall panels and have encountered a lot of crazy problems like this framework here, this bed framing that they had put in for the attic system. It's in the way, but I don't have the time or the luxury of disassembling it and even measuring everything. And then there's also little components like this hook system that is jutting out, and Sierra said she wanted to keep that. I mean, in an ideal method, you would have the whole van completely empty and you'd get papers and stuff to make templates. for the wheel well. I can't do that because we don't have the time and the expenses. So what I've decided was we could either cut the sheet into 2 panels and try to squeeze it in this half and then do the other half, but there's also parts that jut out back there that'll get in the way. So I think the best solution is kind of messy, but you won't see the mess, is to split it along the seam right here, along the wheel well. So what I'm going to do is have a flat piece that goes up, basically a rectangle that goes up from here up to there, and then a little piece on the bottom. So there'll be a seam down here where you won't really notice it because it's at the bed line. And over here there might be other stuff blocking it. So it's kind of ugly, but the parts that you can see, just like the whole bed system here, under there is ugly. But the parts that you actually see will look nice. At least that's the plan. The most ideal setup, but you know, we're out here at the parking lot and we got these big sheets of wood that we got to cut to make them fit in here. So we got a grocery cart and we got the drawers here to make us make-do table to try to cut the sheet across here so that I can get the panel for the top part, and we'll deal with the bottom part later. We've initially fitted the first sheet, and I actually cut it a little bit short because of the curvature. Kind of screwed up there, but that's all right. It ended up working out better, and I'll show you why in a minute. So we're going to try to push this in and seal it in by just screwing it into the actual frame of the vehicle. But you can see just by putting out that wood, the interior is starting to look a lot better. It's starting to look more like a home. And what this is going to serve as is a barrier. It's going to have air here. It's not a real good insulation, but it's better than none. And it should make the vehicle stay cool longer or not feel so hot, because it's going to hold the hot air that's coming in through the glass here behind this piece of wood. And I wanted to show you how even our little screw up here on the measurement works out better. We're currently at the back side, and you can see how there was an opening that I had messed up on the measurement. But if you look, there's a window there, and it actually worked better to have that little window there, so Sierra can kind of look out and kind of peek out. You know, if there's noise or something, she can kind of look out. We're gonna cut wood, and see this bottom part, we might even just leave it just because it's not seen, and also she's got a jack storage and other stuff down here, so we don't want to block that off. But we might put a wood panel right here just to make it look nicer. But she's got a nice little window that she can look out. Show some of the issues you run into when you're trying to build around existing infrastructure, because we couldn't do this by emptying out the van completely. We're having to build with all the stuff in place already. I don't know if you can see that back beam right there in that corner. Not beam, but that bolt that sticks out. That's making it so that that bolt sticking out right there in the back there is making it so we can't bring the wall panel through the back. Just like the other side, we're gonna have to go through the front. Sadly though, we already have our kitchenette kind of partially assembled here. It's not secured yet, but I'm gonna have to disassemble this whole thing and bring the board, the panel back this way. I could try cutting the bolt right there, but I could run into all sorts of issues and problems that I'm not sure I want to deal with. Maybe I will do that. I don't know. I might try that. I think I might try... you know what? I think I'm going to try that, rather than disassemble everything here on this end. Let's try it and see what happens. Right. Just wanted to update you on what's going on. We're currently getting ready to put up the top part of the ceiling. As you can see, we've kind of forced the bottom in. We've got the we're okay. I'm just filming. We've got the bottom wall here in. I haven't screwed it in or anything, but it looks like it's fitting okay. This other side was a little rough because the frame got in the way, and we have that big humongous air blower thing in the back that's in the way. I ended up having to cut a little circle around it, and Sierra says she's going to do some work on it later. So we're not even going to screw or tack that one in because it's kind of holding in place from friction, because it's going to have to be removed for her to work on later. But we're getting ready to put up the top panels, and to help secure it, we're going to rely on our Handy dandy Loctite. Yeah, remember that glue that I used on the yurt? Except this one's on the glue gun thing. I mean, not the glue gun, the caulking gun dispenser thing. So I got this at Home Depot. It's like $3 for a bar of that, and then like $2 or $3 for this. And we got 2 of them because we're probably going to use quite a bit. And the plan is, because there's no ability to drill holes through the roofing, you know, this is the actual ceiling of the van. If we drill a hole in it, she's gonna have a leak. So there's no real way to secure it, not even down here. We thought about using L brackets and stuff, but then I thought it won't really hold it. These pieces, luckily, we're putting up are pretty thin and flimsy. So the plan is, we're gonna run Loctite glue all along the backing here and press it up against this wall, which she has already put up this insulation, which isn't really that strong, so it can all still fall apart. You can see parts of it have already fallen off. But the plan is to have it stick to the insulation and kind of hold it in place, to tack it in place. And then we'll have both walls up, and then I'm going to run some ribbing across. Not a whole lot, because we want to leave that area open, and Sierra wants to put up a wall here later and cut out this portion of the attic. She's decided to change the layout a little bit to give her a little bit more standing room. So we're going to put some ribbing, kind of like, almost like, I guess like they do on ships and stuff like that, across. So what's going to hold up the side walls isn't really the glue. It's going to be the ribbing. It's going to be braced to push out. So it's got to be really tight ribbing, and we're going to glue the ribbing in place. And hopefully everything will hold. I wanted to update everybody on what's currently going on. We have gotten the beams up to hold the side walls into place on the top. This is a temporary measure. This isn't a permanent thing. We're just holding it there just to keep it braced up against the wall so it doesn't fly down. Sarah's planning on removing this metal frame. So there's been a design change. We're going to remove the metal frame. We're not going to do it right now, but she's going to have somebody do it. So I'm building around it as best as I can. So she's going to have this removed, and we're going to go ahead and give her an attic using that back space. And then this whole area right here, even though there's a beam right here, which will be removed, is going to be opened up. So she's going to have all this space to stand up in here. Probably about like 8 or 10 feet of standing room inside this van, which is a lot of room actually. So she'll have some storage overhead. She's wanting the bathroom over here on this side, so we'll figure it out. And I'm trying to remove and fix this thing, but her window had been broken because it was missing some screws, so that had to be fixed before I could put in the sink stuff. And there was a stuck screw in there. It was like a broken screw. I ended up taking it out by using needle nose pliers. I was able to pry out. It was actually not even a screw, it was a bolt. I don't know if you can see it right there, that broken bolt. So I'm going to try to fix it by putting a screw in there if I can. Hopefully to get the unit to hold down, because I got to fix that before I assemble this whole desk area here for her. And we found that it's got the gas receptacle thing, so that's going to be in the way of this container right here. So that's going to be an issue. I have to figure this out. This is all a work in progress and will be designed as we do it.